everybody. You know what time it is?
Boom Shakalaka!
All right.
And how do you do? That's exactly what Boom Shakalaka means. And so we're so glad to have you. Today, Chaveevah, it's another Friday.
It is, and it's great to be here. And as a matter of fact, you wonder, where are we?
Right.
We are at the Grout Museum in the replica of the Sullivan family home.
Right.
Living room, yeah.
Exactly. And there's some talking offset that needs to stop. Hello?
Quiet on the set.
Quiet on the set out there. Thank you. So yeah, we are. And we got Dusky.
Yes, we have Dusky Steele from House of Hope. And, well, she always brings the sunshine and happiness.
Wow. Exactly. Dusky, tell us, this is our pre-boom shakalaka. Real quick, we got some quick things to talk about, and you're one of them. The Pasta for Progress.
Yes, Pasta for Progress looks a little bit differently this year. And unfortunately, people can't still get the to-go lunches, but, which I should say, delicious lasagna lunches from Waterloo Brown Bottle. So you should go there sometime and get it, but you can get it for this. We're doing...
yeah, go to Brown Bottle. It's the best lasagna ever, right?
It sure is. I know, I'm so excited. Not just for the lasagna, though. We are doing a special show. Rocki and Chaveevah here are going to be hosting.
Yes.
And some of our awesome House of Hope women are going to share their journey and inspire everyone, really.
Right. You just shared another story. I don't remember the young lady's name, but we did share it on our wall. Some of the stories are so compelling of how they've gone from not doing as well as they'd like to actually flourishing. So.
Oh yes, I mean, it's amazing. Once they have basic needs met, they don't have to worry about where their kids are going to sleep tonight, and then and they have a support system at House of Hope and access to resources and things. And then it's like they believe in themselves, they thrive, and they give back to the community and to House of Hope. It's really, really cool, and the stories are so moving.
Yes, they are.
Yes, so everyone should tune in.
Right, that's what we want to tell you. You can't buy your lunch, you missed it. If you missed it, we're sorry, but do try Brown Bottle again, Chaveevah. But we do want them to tune in.
Absolutely, and I think it's very important and very symbolic that the day on which this is being held is in honor of World Homeless Day. Is that right?
That is correct. World Homeless Day is October 10th, and so we are celebrating and honoring on October 8th. And the program will be from 12 to 1. And so tune in. I've been posting your guys' link to your Facebook page. So you can find, just go give Rocki and Chaveevah a like.
Right.
And then
it'll just pop up, right? Like our North End update page, because we'll be live on both, and you don't want to miss it. So if you don't see it on Rocki and Chaveevah, check out North End update, because our friends list is full, and we keep going through it. But everybody is so important, right?
Well, we'll be live on the House of Hope page too. So,
awesome, right?
Yes, so it should be all over Facebook.
Exactly.
All right.
Well, thank you so much. And like we've said before, you're the perfect person.
Aww.
She's the perfect person. I'm not sure you're not a perfect person, but you're the perfect person to be the spokesperson for this wonderful ray of light in our community, because that's exactly what you bring to our show.
Well, thank you. You guys bring it out of me.
Oh.
So I always enjoy you ladies.
All right.
All right, I'll let you get on with it then.
Yes, thank you so much for stopping by. See you on next Thursday.
Yes, you will.
All right.
Bye.
All right. Thank you.
Take care.
So like always, it's always great to see Dusky Steele.
Yes, and it's always great to have the wonderful guests that we are just so fortunate to have every week.
Exactly.
And right now, we want to introduce Billie Bailey.
Yes.
The director of the Grout Museum.
The entire museum, right.
Yes.
A woman.
Hello.
All right.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me here.
You bet.
All right.
Well, we're here.
Thanks for hosting.
Here we are in the Sullivan family living room. So
Exactly.
right on 98 Adams Street.
Oh, and I'm loving it. Right in the heart of the North End. And you know, a lot of people don't realize, because I just figured out that rock at Sullivan Park, that is where the 5 Sullivan brothers' home was.
Wow.
So yeah, so that really kind of shed some light on that. And so yeah, it's always nice to be here, and I do feel like right at home. Except I don't want to drink red wine on Mrs. Sullivan's beautiful beige chair.
I don't think she'd care.
Okay. Well, we're really glad that you're here with us today. We've got a lot to talk about with you today. And you know, there's a lot of community discussion going around in our community about a lot of different things. We're going to be we have a segment called Give It Air, and we're going to be giving air to another community discussion that's going on with Sheriff Tony Thompson later on this evening.
Yes.
So want to make sure that you tune on into that. We'll be interviewing him at 7 o'clock tonight.
That's right.
And so today we want to give it air a little bit because we have heard some circulating things on Facebook, and I think that we have some specific questions to ask you to kind of clear the air, that Charles Pearson had asked. And we were actually I'm skipping ahead, Chaveevah, because I kind of got lost for a second. But,
it's okay.
But yeah, so we got a few questions from Charles Pearson, and I'll ask the first one. Or Chaveevah, you go ahead and ask the first one.
Okay, y'all, give me a second. Get my glasses on. Okay, actually, some of the questions, the first of the questions that Charles Pearson had brought out was, can students, especially black students, use the Grout special collections and archives to research and learn about Waterloo's black history and their significance in the Cedar Valley?
And the answer to that is absolutely. Anybody can use our archives and collections. The only thing we'd ask if they really want to dig into the collections or the archives is that they would make an appointment with the registrar or the archivist, because we want to make sure that they're there to help the students do their research. So yes.
Okay, that's that question. The second question Charles Pearson had was, has the Grout ever had the opportunity to partner with Charles Pearson and the Iowa African American Heritage Trail Program and Iowa Civil Rights Trail Program? Have you had that opportunity?
We have had many conversations with Charles over the years, and we are interested in everything that Charles wants to talk about. We just have not found quite the right partnership opportunity for our two organizations, but we're always open.
You're open for dialogue, and
yep,
hopefully it would be great to have some collaboration of some sort, but you just have to define the details. Is that what you're
Correct.
saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and define what partnership looks like, those sorts of things.
Exactly.
Okay, great. And then the third question, Chaveevah.
Yes, absolutely. The final question is, does the Grout have African American projects, past or present, that they've done or plan on doing in collaboration with either black citizens or with any African American nonprofit or faith-based institution, not just the Grout's all-white board and decision makers?
Yes, we have, and I'll just pull up a few examples. The very first project that I was involved with when I started at the museum in the 1980s was a commemorative exhibit of the 10th anniversary of KBBG radio. It was a little while ago, and we worked with Mr. Porter and Mrs. Cribbs, later Mrs. Porter, to put that exhibit together, and then they also did a live broadcast from the museum one evening. So that was my very first experience.
That was way back in '88.
Yeah, in the 1980s.
And
yeah.
you were holding this position way back then?
Well, I worked here. I was the education
you worked
director.
Your way up.
Yeah.
Did you break a ceiling or two?
Well, actually, I followed two women. We only had one male director at the Grout
well,
Museum.
that's so good to know.
Wow, that's an interesting fact.
And through the years, have you collaborated with black folks?
We have, during museum school, which we've done for the last 20 years, we always focus on the importance of the African American story in Waterloo's history. We like to have an African American involved in doing that. We've done it in a video format because you can't always get some people to volunteer their time when you need it, but So we've done that. We also have a project that we're working on right now, a couple actually. One that I'm not quite ready to open the doors on yet because we're still in discussion, but I think I'm pretty excited about that one. And then the other one is probably what I'm going to talk about in this is what's happening at the museum right now.
Okay, great. And then this isn't from Charles, but I'm curious, are you planning on diversifying your board? I mean, because Charles says it's an all-white board, and you have other people that have other input. I think Tavis is involved somehow.
Tavis Hall is actually on our board.
And LaTanya, you communicate. I know my Aunt Anna Mae was just here the other day.
Yes, she has been. Yes, yes.
So, well, are you going to get some more black folks that are actually decision makers somehow?
That is absolutely part of our strategic plan to work on that. And so we're open. We're looking for people to be on our board. We're looking for people to be on our committees. We're looking for people to do interviews. Good. And we would offer, Charles, I know you have a story to tell. So if
Charles is on fire. He's got so much stuff to share, and he's got a big collection.
And if he'd like to be interviewed, he should call Pat Kinney, because Pat's ready to interview him if he'd like to. So.
Yes, awesome.
All right.
Well, good.
And we need to get you two on. We need to get your stories on video too. So
wow, that'd be fun. We'd love to sit down and hang out with you, hash it out any day.
Yeah.
Well, that's great, and thank you for answering those questions. We weren't planning on it, but then the day we were going to announce being here, we saw this post, and we're like, let's go ahead and give it air.
No, I appreciate it. I'm glad you did that. Thank you.
Awesome. And we are being safe today.
Yes, we absolutely are. We are always mindful of social distance. We have our masks.
Yes.
Yeah, and we're still operating. We still love what we do and being able to talk to people, but we want to keep everybody safe.
We have to be cautious. Yeah, if you see me without a mask, stay away, because I don't want to have to tell you to get back.
Right? I know, and you will do that.
I will. I'll be like, get back. Okay. Our Friday runway is happening tonight, so we want to make sure everybody just watch us all day, and if in between times, go to YouTube and check us out, right?
Yes, indeed. Friday Runway is our way to just have fun and get a chance to put on those clothes that we spent all our time and energy buying, but didn't have anywhere to wear because of COVID-19. So
you are busy ladies.
Yes, and Billie, you should come and sport that outfit. Look at her wearing her little red. She's popping it with
I know,
that
a
red
nice pop of color.
Yes.
Gotta have that red.
Indeed. So check us out tonight at 6:30. We got India. We've got all Joyce Wilder's fashions.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that. Right. So if you are a designer or a talented person or a store owner or somebody who would just like an opportunity to showcase some of your outfits, by all means get in touch with India Johnson on Facebook, or shoot us and inbox us on Facebook or
inbox her. I'm busy enough. but yeah, we want you to be involved with that. And guess who I booked today?
Who?
For November? Who? Nia Shindig. Nia has a whole line, her Be Light collection.
Yes.
So I heard about that.
Yes, so she's going to be joining us and showing off some of her things. So we had a great show last week. Did you watch? You've been watching a lot.
I have been.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had, who did we have? We had
Latricia Hilton, and we also had Reverend Abraham Funches.
Yes.
And that was a really nice show. We were at the Hazel Dorothy Scott Memorial Hall.
Right, exactly, which is a great place to do a show.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not quite Mrs. Sullivan's living room.
Exactly.
But it was still a great place.
Too bad you can't get the drapes in the picture.
Oh, right. Oh, they're so vintage. What is it? Mid-century modern?
Yeah.
Almost.
Almost,
kinda. Yeah. Okay, so we wanted to talk about that. And yesterday, she just said we're getting busy again, Chaveevah.
Yes, we are. And just yesterday, we had a great time talking with the county auditor, Grant Veeder. And he answered all of the questions that you thought you might want to know about what to do for voting, about voting rights, satellite locations, just all kinds of ways. So there are no barriers to you getting out there and voting, and we hope you do. I certainly intend to.
Oh, yeah. What about you? How do you plan on voting?
Well, I have an absentee ballot coming, but I I may also go to one of the remote sites and get rid of the absentee ballot. I haven't decided yet. But if I do absentee, I'm going to go drop it off.
Right, yeah. And he said if you decide to vote at the polls, just take your ballot with you, and I guess they'd shred it right there, maybe, or something.
Void it out, yeah.
Yeah. So just make sure you vote. That's the main thing.
That is the important thing. You're right.
Exactly. And get out and vote. The satellite locations for absentee voting have been listed in Blackhawk County for those who want to vote early. Dates start October 6th and run through October 20th, and there's a full list of time and locations shared on our page. Is that right, Chaveevah?
Yes, we do.
You might have to scroll.
Well, or if you don't feel like scrolling, just go to the county auditor's page.
Right.
Website, excuse me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can find out all the information. And I want to shout out and thank the folks that are watching us right now. Hey, hey.
Yes. Go ahead and read anything that they're saying.
Well, Lori Ann Dale said,
Hey!
boom, shaka, laka, beautiful ladies.
Boom shakalaka, baby.
Okay, and
How
Shari
do you do?
McKinney, too.
Oh, Shari,
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah.
And Joyce, I know Joyce is out there, so she's probably on the other page. But hi, everybody. Amy Cass, all of our faithful viewers, we love you. Okay, so we got to get down to the question that we ask all of our viewers, and I'm sure you know it by now. You want to sit back? You look like you're just kind of on the edge of your seat.
Well, oh, it's because it's so exciting.
Look at me. I'm just all comfortable. I'm laid back.
Good for you.
Okay, so do you subscribe to the
Soul Town.
Comes to the museum.
Okay.
Oh,
See,
look
I
at
knew we were not going to be able to catch Billie slipping this time.
Oh.
Not this time. No. We mention it every single show about the Soul Town magazine because it is just a wonderful publication and brings a lot of love and light and information to the community. The current issue is a tribute to Chad Boseman.
Right, I
whom we
just saw it,
recently
and
lost,
it's so
yeah.
excited. I haven't got to read it yet,
Yep.
but it looks like a beautiful.
And for those of you who don't know who Chad Boseman is, he was Black Panther
The star
in the movie.
The
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Way too soon.
Oh,
Yes.
way too soon. Such a handsome man, and he fought his battles so courageously.
He did.
In silence
And privately, yes,
and
definitely.
privately. Wow,
It was
you know,
shocking. It was very
Yes.
shocking.
I don't know. It just seems so hard for somebody to have to do that and to want to do that. There's so much to talk. You'd have to have some good therapists, you
Yeah.
know, to get you through something like that.
So anyway, be sure to pick up a hard copy or to get the digital edition at thesoultown.com.
Right. Okay, so now we've said all of that. We want to tell you birthday people, don't give up because Billie can blow. I heard Billie
Yes,
can
indeed.
really sing, right? She can really sing that song. I heard you got a really good, what voice is it? Soprano?
Nah, probably not.
You're not one of those canary. Way up high.
That's my daughter. No,
Oh.
mine's a little more alto, probably.
Oh, okay.
Or
well,
contralto
Yeah, there
or
you
something
go.
like that.
Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna. So don't miss that. Okay, so Billie, we got some questions to ask you, and then
Okay.
we understand that Carrsan is gonna come out.
Yes,
and
he is.
talk.
With a friend.
With a friend. Ooh, a
Oh,
friend.
a friend. Okay.
Okay, so Chaveevah, talk to Billie about what's going on around
Yes,
here.
yes, please talk to us. I know there's always something new and exciting going on at the Grout, so just talk to us a little bit about the
Okay.
things that are going on.
Well, the most important thing that I think I want to talk about today is the exhibit that's going to be opening mid-October, so just a couple of weeks away, when George Floyd was killed, and the nationwide there were the protests, and there were some here in Waterloo.
Yes.
And we'd been collecting for COVID because, it's like, well, this is happening. This is history happening
This
around
is
us. We
history,
better.
yes.
So when this started happening, we said, and there were marches in Waterloo, we said, we need to collect for this because this is an important thing. And I think that the fact that Waterloo held several marches or demonstrations, and there was no violence. I mean,
Right.
they were peaceful. They were very peaceful, and I think there's a lot of credit goes to the organizers. Joyce Livingston, and I'm not sure of the other gentleman. Is that Jamal?
Jamal Salas,
Yes,
yes. And Joyce is going to be on our show, I think, next week or a couple weeks from now.
Okay, yeah, coming up.
Yeah.
So I mean, hats off to them for organizing a very tense subject, a very emotional subject, and they pulled it off with grace and like I said, with no. It was very peaceful.
Yes,
very peaceful.
it was a peaceful protest.
And I think that's important for us to collect that story and tell it.
Right.
So it won't be a permanent exhibit, and the name of the exhibit is going to be Recent Acquisitions. But our registrar and our archivist have been in touch with Joyce and with Jamal, and we have collected about 59 artifacts from mostly posters and those kinds of things. We've also done interviews. We've got more interviews to do. There are 102 digital images that were from the protests, 93 of which were taken by Tiana Carrasco and Nia
Shindig, our girl, yes.
So,
great dynamic couple.
You know, they are going to be featured. This exhibit will be up for about 6 months.
Wow.
The artifacts will go into our permanent collection. We invite people to, we're not cutting it off. I mean, if people look at the exhibit and say, oh, I have this, we are very much interested in continuing to collect. Obviously, we do have limited space, so if we've got 10 of something, we might say thank you very much.
Sure, right.
But we are very interested. We're also very interested in continuing to collect interviews from people that participated or people that have a significant attachment to the message that's being shared with the protests, and so I just think that's really an important thing for us to be doing in this community.
It definitely is.
Yes.
And I would imagine that I know there is an African American museum that has been trying to get on its feet to be finally developed. So I would imagine it's kind of hard. I mean, I'm glad that that your mindset is in this gear, and that you're understanding that this is a great time to take advantage of recording history. But I imagine it would be kind of hard to define how much you want to do and how much to hold back, because this other effort is in progress.
Well, and that has been something that we've had to watch and walk a line on. I mean, when that plan started to develop and people were very excited about developing an African American museum, we felt out of respect for that effort that we should just not stop, but kind of be in the background, and for whatever reasons, we feel like some things have been lost, some stories have been lost over time because there has been some difficulties.
A lapse.
So we just feel that we need to collect it. If it stays here, great.
Right.
If a museum develops and we're able to share what we've collected now and in the past with that museum in the future, so be it.
Right.
It's just important to get the stories before they're gone.
Yeah, so we admire you for that.
Well, and that was the point for collecting for the COVID and for the protests. It's easier to collect it now while it's available than to wait 20 years and wonder where it went.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because we did run into that with the when I worked with Mrs. Treadwell and Mrs. Nash back in the day. It was quite a few years. It was probably 30 years after the civil rights movement.
Sure.
And mostly it was newspaper clippings and programs, and there was this great picture of Mrs. Treadwell marching in Washington, and I said, oh, you still have that dress? Do you have those shoes?
Oh, wow.
I mean, it would have been so wonderful to have that. And
yes, and being in your position, you know what things to look for.
And it's a unique opportunity to be able to record those things in real time, like as they're happening, as opposed to trying to go back and recall details that have become cloudy. So
right.
And the interesting thing about that, we've done some of this with our veteran interviews, especially the ones that, the Desert Storm and the Gulf War veterans. We record them as they come home or shortly after they come home. Now we go back 10, 20, 30 years later and record them again to see how their perspectives have
How
shifted
nice.
as time goes by, and I think we can, that opportunity is there with this now.
Sure. Great. And I know you probably had some other things you wanted to mention. We're going to get Carrsan on here in a few minutes too. But tell us about the veterans. I know Pat couldn't be here today.
Yeah.
Is there anything special? I know D-Day is coming up. We're going to plan a show here in November like we normally do. But is there anything Pat didn't really mention a lot to me?
Well, probably the thing that we're working on now that would be most important is we are doing an exhibit about Desert Storm 30 years later.
Wow.
We have a committee that we're working with. That'll open in mid-December.
Okay.
So that'll be a neat
Something
thing. You
to
can come
look
back for that too.
Yes.
30 years ago, it's just like,
I know.
it was like it's just yesterday.
In my head, I said,
I
that's
know.
about 20 years ago, right?
Right.
And Al says, no, it's 30.
And back to the civil unrest, you're kind of in our age group.
Yes.
And we often say, who thought, who knew?
Yeah.
All these years later, something like George Floyd, would happen and make us all wake up again.
Would still be happening.
Or
happen
would still be
again.
happening. Yes.
Still is probably the right word.
Yeah.
Right. And so,
Sadly, but still is the right word.
Right. So hopefully we can change the mindsets of
I hope
people
so.
that are feeling the way they do, so privileged that they can kneel on a black man's head. That's what I'm trying to say. There's so many words, but
Yeah.
So we're really happy about that. And I know you had the women's suffrage thing, and that still is.
That's still up, and we're doing virtual tours with high school students.
Good.
Because we can't go into schools. Schools can't come here.
Right.
So we are figuring out how to do museum school virtually, and we have some high schools that are going to be touring the women's suffrage exhibit virtually. And honestly, and I know Carrsan's going to talk about this more than I am, but having been shut down and having to learn how to do these kinds of things, it gave us the time to learn to do these things that we always wanted to do anyway.
Right.
And now when we have a temporary exhibit, we can have a very detailed recording of it so that it isn't lost when it comes down.
Okay.
So we'll be able to include things that aren't even in the exhibit.
Wow. Good deal. And were you going to say something?
No.
Okay.
I'm just enjoying the conversation.
I know, and there's so much always going on here, and we love it, and we want to make sure that you tell everybody about the virtual stuff. Where can we log on? How do we get to watch the...
Well, we're on all of the social media platforms. You can go to our website, www.groutmuseumdistrict.org. You can also go to our YouTube page. I don't know what that is, but just Grout Museum on YouTube.
Okay.
You can see a lot of our digital, virtual programming there. And if you want more than that, you have to ask Carrsan.
Right, Carrsan's a digital guy, right?
He is.
Okay. Well,
that sounds like a good segue to me.
Exactly, and thank you so much,
thank
Billie,
you
for having us here in Mrs. Sullivan's living room, the Sullivan's living room.
Mm-hmm.
And we want you to come back and sing happy birthday with us.
Okay.
So maybe we'll put our masks on for the birthday song, because we're going to be singing really loud. Because Chaveevah says, if you can't sing good,
sing loud.
Sing loud. So we'll put our masks on and sing happy birthday after we get done talking with Carrsan.
All righty, I'll be back.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
you
so
for bringing
much.
everything up. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's our pleasure to give it air.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Chaveevah, that was good to get that out there. Hopefully, if there's any more questions to be entertained, they can have dialogue between themselves.
Yes, and hopefully, and now we have
Mr.
our guest Carrsan.
Oh no, we didn't know we needed that kind of friend.
Yeah. This is Medusa.
Medusa is beautiful.
She is my favorite snake that we have. She's a ball python.
Okay.
And when I started this job just about 2 years ago, she was the first animal that I interacted with here.
Okay.
And she's still
Really?
my favorite. So.
All right.
Oh, I got a feeling Chaveevah's not even. She wants to get up.
No,
and touch
I'm not
that.
afraid. No.
You're not. I can tell you're not. I'm
No,
not either. I've never been afraid of
I just
snakes.
want to say thank you for agreeing to come on the show and talk to us about what you do here at the Grout. You are the digital outreach coordinator.
Yeah, digital outreach coordinator. I was the outreach coordinator until COVID.
Okay.
And then just within the past month, I think, we switched it to digital outreach coordinator because of everything that's happened and the way that education has changed, frankly, with the pandemic.
Yeah.
So.
And how long have you been the outreach coordinator?
So this is actually kind of a funny story. I became the outreach coordinator in January.
Okay.
So January I became outreach coordinator, March COVID hit. So I was not in the job very long before everything changed.
Right.
So it kind of feels like it's an advantage and a disadvantage because obviously I never really got a chance to really settle into just regular outreach, but also it gave me a chance to kind of look at everything with a fresh perspective and adapt to the new digital world that we're kind of living in.
Yeah, we had got a chance to talk for just a hot second before the show started, and I said then maybe you might want to talk a little bit about what kind of challenges and also what kind of opportunities.
Have you learned anything?
Yeah.
From all this that can help. Wait, first of all, let's go over the first aid. So if that snake gets off and starts like wrapping around your neck, what are we supposed to do?
She won't. Fun fact actually about ball pythons. Ball pythons are boa constrictors. They are the smallest of the African boa constrictors. There are 5 different kinds. I don't know them all, I'm sorry. But she wouldn't do that to me because I'm so big. She knows she can't eat me.
Famous last words.
So,
right?
exactly, right. But I always joke with little kids that she basically just thinks I'm a giant warm jungle gym. So she's pretty content just wrapping around my hand like she is. She also knows me. She knows my smell. So she's not... all likelihood she's not going to freak out and attack me, but if she does, I mean, we'll deal with that when it comes, frankly.
We came in here one time and someone gave me a ball python and they said you call her that because they sort of wrap themselves up.
They do. So if she was scared right now, that's the other thing. Everyone, whenever you have a snake, everyone says, oh, do they bite? Do they bite? Do they bite? They can, like any animal. But ball pythons actually have a funny way of dealing with being scared. If they get scared, more likely than biting, they would just kind of curl up into a tiny little ball and try to hide. Because they don't really have a lot of offensive attacks. They are just kind of...
I don't know if the viewers can see
I think I was in 7th grade, and that's when I found out that snakes are not slimy.
They're not.
They're
shiny, but they're very dry.
Yeah,
they're dry and they're cool.
They certainly are beautiful.
Beautiful animals.
I love them. I've always loved snakes, so I knew when I started this job that would be something that I would like. I've always thought that they were misunderstood.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, I just had to know because I used to be a paramedic, so I wanted to know. I didn't know the protocol for that.
Well, if she did bite me, I've never been bitten by any of our snakes.
Okay.
If she did bite me, what I would do is nothing. First of all,
we'd call an ambulance, right?
Well, I'd probably be okay. She's not venomous.
Okay.
But I would do nothing and hope that she stopped because she would immediately realize, wait a minute, why did I bite this person? He's too big for me to eat.
They're not that smart. They think like that. No.
So then she'd probably just let go.
Okay. All right. So we got to get back, and then we got to sing happy birthday. But thank you. I had to talk about the snake.
Oh,
of course. Just a little bit the elephant, the snake in the room, right?
Indeed.
Okay. So tell us about what you've learned from this whole experience.
Yeah, it was definitely a process, and it's not just me. We have an amazing team who works on all of this stuff. But back in January and February and March, kind of the early stages of all this, we really had to sit down and figure out how we're going to keep moving, because all of a sudden, all of these outreach programs and education programs that we had planned for the year were gone. And it wasn't just that, also other organizations, libraries, county fairs, things like that I would normally go to in the summer for outreach weren't doing it anymore.
Right.
So we had to think of whole new ways to provide these services that we do.
Right, or else you're out of a job.
Well, that.
Right? You
but
don't
also,
have
it's
to do, right?
I can always, that's my problem. But the concern was more providing the services that this museum provides, especially to kids,
right?
Who we're something more than just what they learn in school. We have all these fun activities and things like that we can teach them. So we had a lot of meetings and we had a lot of debates on the best way to go about it. And we kind of came up with 2 major plans, which are Digital Museum School, which we're launching next week, actually, officially.
Wow, okay.
Incredibly excited about that. It's been a challenge. But it's very fun. We're going to be using Zoom to live stream our museum assistants into classrooms.
And all schools, do they get to log in at the same time, or
it's scheduled week by week? So Brandon Ramirez, our education director, has gotten back and forth with all these different schools and scheduled them. It basically runs the same way in-person museum school would.
Okay.
But now we are zooming into their classrooms, and then I made these pre-recorded tours of different parts of the museum, so the kids can basically watch a video of everything that's in an exhibit, and then a museum assistant joins them and kind of explains things, and they can pause it and interact with it in different ways. It's really fun, actually.
That
it
sounds
works
great.
really well.
And that reminded me again of the, as far as pre-recorded, the time that you and the other young man did that.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the first
really
one,
cool.
actually. That was our first.
Yeah.
We do weekly free educational programming in addition to the things that we sell. So Brandon does Sci Fridays, which that was a Sci Friday. I do Animal Spotlight, which is where I talk about the animals at the Imaginarium. That's now bi-weekly because of all the other programs I'm now working on. And then Nicholas Erickson, our registrar, he does a collection showcase where he talks about different like artifacts and things that he has in collections. It's incredible, some of the things that we have. Things you'd never even imagine. So we have some really great programming that just is free online. You can find it on our YouTube channel as well as Facebook and Instagram.
And tell us your new YouTube channel.
It's just Grout Museum District.
Grout Museum
All one
District
word.
on YouTube.
Okay.
Get it in your classroom. Chastity, Kendall, you guys, this is a great opportunity. My daughter and her friend Kendall run the Royal Legacy Christian Academy.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I think that they've been over here for tours and trips. So what a great opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. So students, teachers will still get an opportunity to enrich the students' learning with the things that the Grout has to offer. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know where my mask is, but I'm going to have to, I'll be the only one without one, I guess. Everybody else has theirs handy. Right? Because, and does the snake wear a mask or something?
She should be fine. As far as we know, they can't contract or give coronavirus, so she should be okay.
Okay, can she carry a tune?
I've never heard her sing. She's very quiet. She doesn't really project much.
Okay.
So,
all right. But
the other,
go ahead. Say what did you want to say?
no, just the other thing that we launched were our discovery kits, which are for like families. So families can go to our website and look at the discovery kits we have available. They range in price from, I think, $30 to $60 depending on the kit. And they come with a pre-made video, sort of like a fun instructional video. And then they come with all sorts of goodies and activities that relate to each kit. So we have kitchen science, which is all about experiments you can do in your house. We have a bug out kit, which is for kids that like bugs and animals and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
Oh,
sounds like it. Wow.
And what's it called? Discovery
Kits.
Yeah, a discovery kit. You can get yours by contacting Carrsan Morrissey. Are you related to Pat?
I am not actually. No.
Carrsan Morrissey. At the Grout Museum.
Grout Museum.
And they're on our store online too. At the Grout Museum website.
Awesome. Awesome. That's my book is in your store too now. Travis, it's not your birthday.
Oh.
How about that?
So
right
cool.
here in the gift shop. So make sure you visit the Grout Museum soon. Okay, everybody, check out Carrsan, and then the cemetery walk. I talked to Shelby. That's coming up.
That's going to be so much fun. It's going to be pre-recorded for, as far as I know, the first time ever.
Yeah.
We're featuring all prominent Black voices from Waterloo history this year.
Awesome.
And it's going to be really amazing. Because it's pre-recorded, we're able to go to different cemeteries.
I love
which
it.
is going to be amazing. Sam McCombs and I are going to be working on recording all the spirits this year. It's going to be so fun. I can't wait.
You guys are doing so much for the community, and we're just real happy that it's the things that you have going on are inclusive, and I'm glad that we could also give air to some questions that needed to be answered today, Chaveevah.
Yes, absolutely. And now I think we better
get our
birthday
people.
Agnes is the moment you've all been waiting for.
Right. All you birthday people, I got some good ones. Yeah, maybe if you guys could wear masks and I not.
Okay.
Because I think I left mine in my purse.
You just sing that way.
I'll sing low and Okay, everybody okay there?
Yep. All right.
Yes.
We want to say happy birthday to Floyd Howard.
Boss.
All right. Kiwa Ferguson Johnson, that's my daughter. All right. Jimmy O'Neill, Danny Laudick, Stacy Heiser, my little cousin. See?
Oh, yes.
Gwen Berry and our
Berry.
own Edward Stouffer.
Ed Stouffer. We should have been in the studio.
Hey.
Wait, I gotta say Gwendolyn Marie, my girl.
Okay.
Gwen, yes. Gwen Berry, yes. Go
All
ahead.
right.
And Ebony Walker, Rudy Jones, Reverend Rudy Jones,
Yes.
Charles Jefferson, the only one and only,
Mm-hmm.
Adrian Allen, Logan Buckley, and
Yes.
sweet Maureen Newbill.
Yes.
And wonderful Linda Matlock.
All right.
Everybody
yes.
rocks, basically.
I tell you, happy birthday to everyone.
Yes, indeed. And I don't know, you know the Stevie Wonder version.
I'll do my best.
Okay, do your best. And don't, whatever you do, if you need to clap your hands, do not upset the snake.
I will not.
Okay.
I would never.
Okay.
I see her. She's trying to figure out what's going on here.
Oh,
She's very
so
curious.
pretty.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's beautiful.
In the
She
winter,
is.
especially, like when it's cold, she always loves. I'll just hold her and she'll just kind of wrap and just
Oh,
hang out. It's
how
Here
nice.
she comes.
Okay, what's her name?
Medusa.
Medusa. It's our show, though. Quit showing off, right? Okay, we like to sing the Stevie Wonder version, Chaveevah.
Yes, we do. And it goes something like this. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday, happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday.
Woo!
All right.
Yes, that's a birthday song for you.
There you go.
Right?
Mask and all.
Oh, look, I know you're going to
Can
touch
I
that
touch it?
now.
You
I'm
know
not
I can.
touching
You
it.
can.
Oh,
If you want to pet her, just pet her this direction, down in the direction of her tail.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it
That's
feels
something. I started saying, let me get my
otherworldly.
camera and take a picture, but it's over
Beautiful.
there. You guys get the picture. It's been another wonderful show. Again, Chaveevah.
Again. Hey,
Right.
every week. How did we get so lucky?
I don't know. It's a fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you keep on doing more of what makes you awesome.
Because it
It
makes us all look good.
And we'll see you next time. That snake drove me to drinking early.